Be up, guys. Be up, guys. Well, to this transfer stream, obviously covering pretty much a lot of the clubs in the Premier, not just the Bees, of course. But I will obviously be talking a little bit about them to start with. But then I will be going into a few other the transfer rumours and news and various other things happening at the moment in the January transfer window. Got one comment here from Luca. Yeah, Luca talks ball. Thanks for coming in there, buddy. Great to see you, bro. And hi to you as well. And we get on with it. Get on with it, because obviously there's some football on a bit later as well. Of course, Spurs currently playing as well in Europe. They're 2-0 up. I don't know. I think that's still the score. I ain't watched much of the second half, although I probably will watch the rest when I finish doing this. And then, of course, there's Man United later as well at 8 o'clock. So, be checking that out. But I've got my guest come on here to come on, and it's Mr. T. Good evening to you, sir. How are you?
Oh, good, thank you, good sir. And I can tell you right now, to answer your question, that Spurs are still up 2-0. Madison and Heung-min Son with the goals in the first. Actually, pop over to our good friend Eunice Eugene from Spurs Eurasian TV. Shout out to him. He's doing a watch along right now as we speak, and he was telling me that it could very well be that now Spurs start to be a little bit, I wouldn't say lackadaisical, but they're going to try to, keep the ball as much as they can. But at the moment, they're just giving it away and allowing Hoffenheim to get more of it. Hoffenheim just don't really have the quality at the moment to really make the most of, the opportunities they've got. Andre Kramaric, who I think was on the books at Leicester City, hit the bar with a looping header, which had the Spurs keeper, Brandon Austin, in trouble. But apart from that, Hoffenheim haven't really threatened. And it's a case of so far so good, you could say, in the second half. But Eugene will tell you that nothing can be taken for granted with this Spurs team.
No, true. Yeah, so nothing much for the $6 million man to do just yet in goal. Yeah, Austin. Anyway, again, another one. Not many. Some people might not know, might not get it, but you I don't know if you remember it either, Manny. You might not remember that $6 million man. But
yeah, I did. I think there was a film by that name, if memory serves me right. So yeah, I told you, you're probably a lot more well versed at some old pop culture than I am, but there are some things I do know very well, and that's kind of why I like doing these streams. We do go back and forth with all of these puns and references, so it's good fun.
Yeah, sure is. But let's crack on with this, and I've got some good news. I'm going to go on with the Bees news first, Bees transfers and everything. And obviously, we got this guy coming in, Michael Coyote, still 1st January transfer signing with loan off the table. But we know it's been accepted, so it's really just a medical that's going to happen. I don't know when it's actually going to be, whether it's maybe tomorrow. Apparently, if it hasn't been today, saying here Brentford are set to sign Fiorentina right back Michael Coyote, paving the way for Mads Rorslev to the.
Well, Steve, I'm going to let you celebrate that because I can't hear you. I'll have to go off and come back. I know you despise Rorslev with a passion.
Yeah, mate, sorry. Yeah, I do. But,
no, I can hear you
anyway,
now.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Yeah. Okay, mate. The Bees want
I do
20. Okay, mate.
No, I was saying I do understand that obviously Rorslev is definitely not your cup of tea, and I'm sure if you could get another quality goalkeeper to replace Flecken, you'd snap that person's arm off to get that new goalkeeper anyway. But Yeah, so while Mr. B resolves his Wi-Fi issues, you're in company of me for now, and obviously, Steve was talking about how important it is to make sure the club gets a new defender, with defence so far being something like a worry in certain games, and even when it comes to goalkeeping, for all of the good saves that Flecken has made, he has also made some rather silly mistakes. And certainly, if Steve never sees Flecken at the club ever again, it will be too soon. But it's certainly a wonderful thing that a good defensive player has come in, and there is a possibility that I might be getting a penalty over here. Collision there between one of the Hoffenheim players and Merstedt is number 33, and it looks as though, I think the penalty has in fact been awarded, so Hoffenheim have the chance to reduce the arrears. It looks as though it will be Kramaric who will be taking it as the team's main goal scorer. Kramaric against Austin. Can the $6 million man repay a slice of that paycheck?
What happened there? Did I go off the money?
You did. There is some interesting thing now, because at the moment the referee is now being called to the VAR monitor to check and see if the penalty was the right decision. And obviously going for the ball, and I think the reason why the referee penalty was because he thought that Austin's collided with the player. But just as penalty was to be taken, he's been called to the VAR monitor. This could be changed, and it could very well be that Spurs might earn a reprieve. So that might come as a source of relief to Bren Eugene and other Spurs watching tonight. For me, as an Arsenal fan, it doesn't make me too happy, but it is what it is.
Yeah. I don't know if everyone heard what I said about that. I thought I read everything out. I might have gone off before I read all the rest of it. I don't know.
Yeah, you did. I can hear you for a start. So,
right. Yeah. Well, basically, has obviously got him on loan for the rest of the season. This guy. And then there's a bit of obligation, well, not an obligation, I think option to buy him for around 14 million in the summer, which isn't a lot of money. And we could easily do that, really. And then it'd make way for Rorslev to go, which I think is the best idea. I just don't get it. And if he is out of position as well, then why not? Why are they not playing him in his right position? If maybe just got no faith in him anyway. So obviously that's why they can let him go. Because they said he would have stayed if this Coyote deal didn't come off. But Brentford and Wolfsburg are now looking to wrap up the move to send the Dane to Germany on loan for the rest of the season. So he's still only on loan there. So he'll only be on a loan. So he probably may come back. So who knows? But obviously this Coyote, we've been tracking him for a long while. Because Rico Henry's been out for almost 500 days, which is incredible, really. Christopher Allaire, of course, is back in training after missing 6 games with an ankle injury. So that's good news as well. But no, I think that's good. I'm glad about this one, Manny. I'm happy with this, and let's see what this guy can do. Apparently, he's got high expectations of him. What he can do. We've been tracking him for a long time. Still only 20. Well, could he be a great move here? Could this one be a big one, a good one for the Bees?
Yeah, I mean, it certainly could, and I think read quite a bit about him, obviously, and we know that he's an Italian youth international who's played at the age levels for Italy. Spent most of his time at. I mean, he's obviously he was on the Juventus youth team, but I don't know how much he played. Then moved to Lozano and of course Fiorentina, from where he is set to head to Brentford. And
Yeah.
certainly as a fullback, he provided some good cover, and could very well be it could very well be a transfer that could help as well. And a huge update is Hoffenheim have pulled a goal back. The penalty was overruled. They managed to pull a goal back, and I see Eugene tearing his out at the moment.
Yeah, poor old Eugene, yeah. But yeah, I mean, they could hold on. If they can get another one, that'd help, I suppose, Spurs. So it would give them a buffer. But yeah, I really like this one, Manny, that we got him in. I think it's been a really good move there. We needed another right back. I don't think, well, of course, with Hickey being out as well, although he won't be that much longer before he'll be back, Hickey. So, this is good, and I think we will need another one on left back as well. I think we do need. I know Henry has come back, but I'd like some backup for him there, and probably this Matt Target or something. I don't know what's happened there. We were tracking him at one stage.
Of course, if you wanted a left back, I'd recommend a certain other Scottish fullback.
Yeah, Tierney.
I think he's dead set on moving back to Celtic. Speaking of moving, I will have to dip out and come back in.
Yeah, no worries, mate. It's fine. That's fine. But we move on to this one, which I knew this was weren't going to happen. We weren't selling him. Nottingham Forest transfer news: Brentford reject bid for striker Johan Visser, having inquired last summer. I knew this was going to happen. We weren't going to let this guy go, not in this window anyway, and I don't think he'll be going. Possibly won't go in the summer. I think we're going to tie him down to a long contract, hopefully, or extend it. I mean, in a way, I don't think he's a natural goal scorer. I know he has got a lot of goals for us, but I've seen him miss a few as well that really should score. And at times hasn't done enough. And actually in that Plymouth game recently, the FA Cup, where we went out, that shot there, he actually didn't go to the player, Morgan Whittaker. He didn't. He stood there because I saw it again recently, and I never noticed it before. And I'm surprised I hadn't. That he didn't actually go to the player that was on the ball, Morgan Whittaker, and he went on and shot and got the goal. And it was his fault actually, Johan Visser. And I wasn't too happy about that. I thought. I did wonder why he had so much time and they let him shoot. And it was to do with him as well. And a lot of the other players were going, holding their hands out and saying, what are you doing? Why didn't you go to him? Why didn't you stop him, block him, or whatever? And it was actually Visser's fault. And I mean, no, as much as a lot of the good things he has done this season and scoring, there's been a lot of stupid and shit things as well, I'm afraid. And I don't know. I mean, I had that story recently and saw about it, that he had acid thrown at him, which was horrible. This woman threw acid at his face and all that and tried to kidnap his daughter and everything. This was obviously before he joined the Bees. And that's horrible because he's had to go to court over it recently. And you think, well, why is he actually in court? Because it was the one that happened to him. What's it actually got to do with him? She's the one that's thrown the acid at him. I hope they put her away for a long time. I really do, this woman. It's sickening. It's horrible. And, I hate hearing that sort of thing. But, you know, for getting back to this I'm not going to feel sorry for him about this, that he should have gone and tackled this, you know, Morgan Whittaker. Then he might not have scored that goal. You know. I don't know if you heard a lot of that, Manny, what I was just saying then, but...
Yeah, it does seem to me, Steve, and with good reason, that you are still quite, stung, pun intended, about your exit from the FA Cup. And apparently this gentleman Vista is to blame, who is being targeted by Nottingham Forest. Now, as someone who shares your pain about having been dumped out of the FA Cup early this season, I can say right now that Johan Vista is very easily a huge upgrade on the from Germany masquerading as a striker that we've got right. And you've got to ask yourself for all of the amazing things that he's done. I mean, he's done so much more good than bad. Can you really afford to lose him? And you've also got to consider that with Forest, with their some work this season, have almost effectively secured European football, potentially, mind you, in the Champions League next season, basically doing what Aston Villa were able to do. It will remain to be seen next season if they do make the Champions, whether or not they actually take advantage of it. But it's very hard to turn down the opportunity to move to one of the hottest clubs at the moment, is one which is making such fine progress. Nuno. So you're gonna, as much as you would like to blame Visa for not making that tackle, you've got to consider the pros and cons. For me, if I could get rid of Kai Havertz, I would, I would literally the arm off of someone who would want to have him for cut price. That's how much I despise him. But Johan Visa is so much more. You know that.
Well, I'll tell you what, though, if we wanted to get Havertz, I'd fucking leave the club, because I hate that guy with a passion, that fucking German giraffe. And I would leave. I wouldn't go and watch this anymore. I'd throw my ticket away. If I had a season ticket, I'd throw it away and tear it up. If we bought Kai Havertz, because I just hate that guy. I can't stand him. I really can't. And now he should have been sent off and then scored that winner here, scored against us, and he should have been off. And I can't believe that. I still can't believe that. And, he gets away with so much shithousery as well. And I don't think it's right, but there we go. But yeah, so we definitely won't take him from you, I hope, if we got any sense. But yeah, getting back to this anyway, I'm going to just read this one out, Manny, this article. Brentford have officially rejected Nottingham Forest bid for Johan Vissa and are determined to keep him until at least the summer. They do not want to part with any of their forward players this month, including Kevin Shardy and Brian Mbomo. The club wants to get their best players back from injury, including defenders Aaron Hickey, Christopher Ayer and Ethan Pinnock, and striker Igor Thiago, of course, out yet again. Shardy is on the radar of Borussia Dortmund and Napoli, while Mbomo is being tracked by the likes of Liverpool, Newcastle and many more. Vissa has been a standout performer for Brentford this season, becoming their all-time Premier League top scorer ahead of Ivan Toney. When scoring in their 2-2 draw against Man City to take his tally to 37. He is among the top 10 performing strikers in the Premier League according to Wyscott data. His goals per minute ratio is better than Cole Palmer and Mbomo this season. Vissa has been a top target for Forest since the summer, but their bid, which was thought to be less than 22 million, was rejected out of hand. So it should be. Exactly. That's disgusting. Piss take. Nuno Espirito Santo is looking to add attacking reinforcements with his side third in the table. 6 points behind leaders Liverpool, having won 7 of their last 8 Premier League outings. West Ham have previously been linked with a move for Forest striker Taiwo Awoniyi, but he will not be allowed to depart the City ground unless a replacement is found. Visser's current contract runs through to 2026 with the option of a further year. The 28-year-old Brentford player from French side Lorient in August, bought him from Lorient in August 2021. Is not very good, that thing there. They wrote that. Anyway, 2021, and they scored 41 goals in 133 appearances for the West London club, providing 9 assists. The DR Congo forward has scored 11 times in 19 Premier League games so far this term, with only Erling Haaland, Palmer, Mohamed Salah, Alexander Isak, Chris Wood and teammate Mbomo having more top-flight goals in 24-25. Do the numbers show why Forest want Visser? Best XG per shot rate, Johan Visser 0.24, Alexander Isak second 0.21, Salah third 0.21, Jamie Vardy fourth 0.21, and 4 players 0.2. Nottingham Forest have a situation where Taiwo Awoniyi is attracting interest, having been second fiddle to the impressive Chris Wood this season. Nuno Espirito Santo's side will then want the next best centre-forward option available to Wood, and Visser is exactly that in the numbers. The Congolese forward also averages the per XG per shot in the Premier League this season, so he gets better chances on average than Wood. Visser's conversion rate to rival Wood's, and even though the Brentford forward would struggle for starts at the City ground, Nuno's reliance on substitutes, Forest have made the most out of any Premier League team this season, means Visser would get minutes. Best Premier League conversion rates, Chris Wood, 35.1%, Brian Mbomo, 34.2%, Johan Visser, 26.2%, James Maddison, 4th, 25%, and John Duran, Manny, 5th, 24.1%. One talking point, however, is Visser's partnership with Brian Mbomo. Thomas Frank says the pair have a special relationship, combining 7 times for goals since the start of last season. Visser and Mbomo have gone so far as to move next door to each other. Such is their bond. So would Forest be getting the same Visser without Mbomo? Going to that other one there in a minute. What do you make of that one, Manny?
Well, you know, you talk about Visser and Mbomo and the brotherhood they share. It reminds me in a way of the brotherhood between a certain Wright and David Rocastle at Arsenal. And I'll tell you what, you know, those two obviously were from the same part of London, obviously, Brockley, of course. And it was Rocastle who pretty much convinced Ian Wright to move to Arsenal from Crystal Palace. And of course, they were living the dream of playing together for, you know, a season or two before the dream was shattered when Arsenal sold Rocastle to Leeds. And so Ian Wright was in the right place. He was fit to be tied. And he was mad, whatever you want to say, however you want to say. But of course, you know, that season at Rocastle, we won the Cup double. We won the European Cup Winners' Cup. So you've got to say that the decision probably paid off in the end, as far as Arsenal are concerned. And so, how that relates to Visser and Mbomo, you obviously get the feeling that they struck up a great youth. But as we can see, you know, football can be cruel that way. Football has a nasty habit of ensuring that even the strongest bonds end up getting broken. So it could very well be that Forest would be so determined to get their hands on this, make an offer that the Bees refuse, and you know, the decision might be taken out of his hand. But of course, I would imagine that if they end up securing European football or Champions League football, for that matter, I would say, then you know, men will look say that's it's sacrifice, and you sometimes have to make it. You know, you have one closed, another set to open. But we're going to have to see what happens here. Guess is will end up staying. I'm pretty sure Frank will want to kill him. No, it's no Walnut.
Yeah. Yeah, when you look at all the stats and everything there, man, he adds up pretty well for us with what they've done, both him and the Momo. So, and he's top goal scorer above Tony. I mean, you know, what's not to like? You know, because to get above that guy, yeah, okay, I know he's an arsehole. Tony couldn't stand him in the end as a person. Didn't like him much. But he's brilliant as a player when he got loads of goals for us. But then he fell away. We all know his form went and everything when he came back. He weren't the same player. And, you know, he went downhill, I think, as well. So it's good to have somebody that's continually, you know, performing to that high level. I know I moaned about what he has, the shit things he's done like that, not going to tackle that guy, which was bad. It was lazy. It was horrible. It was stupid. He should have gone out to him because, you know, that would have stopped them getting that goal. I mean, it may have taken it to extra time and who knows what had happened, but, you know, at least it would have stopped that happening and we wouldn't have gone out. I know it's all happened. It's gone. It's in the past, history. But, you know, there are reasons sometimes that you can't get these results. And that was one of them, that he didn't go out to tackle him. And you can't, I suppose you can't just blame him, but it wasn't good at the time. And it was embarrassing. And, but yeah, I'm glad in the way he's going to stay. I think we will get him to have a new contract, sign a new contract, and I hope Mbomo as well. I hope they do get him to extend his contract. I don't want to see him go anywhere. You know, why should we sell our best players anymore? We shouldn't be a selling club, a feeder club for these other teams now. Okay, mate. No worries. Yeah. And, you know, we shouldn't be a feeder club anymore for these teams. Likes of Arsenal and Spurs, of course, which we seem to be a bit lately as well. A feeder club for them and anyone else, you know, these big teams. Why go for our players? Ipswich as well. I mean, they're not a massive team, we know, but they always seem to go for the players we want to get. And most of the time they're getting them. I see they've got someone else now, Ipswich. We're going to that in a minute. I think in the transfer window they've signed someone else on loan, I believe, and I'll be going into that very soon, very shortly. Obviously, I will talk about this about Mikael Damsgaard signed a new deal, and that's brilliant. But Manny's back now, and I'll just bring him back and. Carry on with what I was saying about we don't want to be feeder clubs for these big teams anymore, Manny. We shouldn't be. Why should we? Let's keep hold of our best players and, you know, get us somewhere, get us achieving things with these players rather than sending them on all the time. Not good enough. You there, mate?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. The only question is, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, mate. Yeah, clear. Yeah, loud and clear, mate. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think, you know, why are we a feeder club for these big teams anymore, like yourselves and all that? You know, you always seem to want to get our players. You know, it's not good enough anymore. You know, we're in the Premier now. We're one of the big boys. Well, yeah, we're a small club, but still one of the big boys now in the Premier. So why should we do that anymore? Why should we be selling our best players? You know?
Yeah, I agree with that. Agree. The only problem is, of course, you know, as long as you have bigger clubs and smaller clubs in the league, you're always going to have a situation where, you know, try and poach players because we just got money to spend, more to burn, as it were. That's the way it is. So, it's not for nothing that we say, do not hate the player, just hate the player. That's sort of the way it is at the moment. But, if you can hold to your best players, well done you. But sooner or later, you might, as you've said, have to start, showing some ambition to win things, which is why you're still a little bit sore about that World Cup exit, and I completely understand that.
The FA Cup, yeah. But yeah, I mean, Carabao Cup as well. That was something I thought we had a good chance of, and we got annihilated at Newcastle. We got after we done them up, we done them 4-2. We thrashed them, and then we went there, and then we looked. I don't know. I don't know what we weren't up to it, and I know they were great. They come out well, cut quick, thick, and fast, and wanted it and wanted to make up for that. Obviously, an embarrassment they had at our ground. I get all that, but we still should have been up for it. We knew what was coming, and then we changed the team as well a bit, which didn't help. We didn't quite put our best team out, and we ended up losing and going out of that as well. So, and I think we also did pay a little bit for going out the FA Cup. We're not playing our best team. So, what?
Speaking up for it, a huge Hoffenheim have equalised, and now Jimmy Maddison has gone off. So it's really a case of now Spurs trying whatever they can off the bench to try to rescue something from the game. They had a good first half, but I feel for poor Newton, ripping his heads at the moment.
Yeah, poor bloke. But yeah, I'm sure they could get another one or two. They are capable of scoring more, Spurs, so they might still win it. But it's not looking good, is it? But anyway, I think this is a fantastic deal as well. We signed this guy up to a new deal. Damsgaard. He's having one of his best seasons since he's been here. He hadn't really done much until now. And I think, I hope he carries on with this now as well. Keep performing, keep doing what he's doing. Next season as well. We've signed him up. Let's keep him doing what he's doing. He's shown the form that, why he played for Denmark, why he's an international, and why he had a lot of caps. I don't know if he is still in the Denmark team. I don't know if he's still in it or he's gone back. I don't know. Because I think he was out for a while. He was out of the team for a while, out of the Danish team. But whether it should be good enough, his form's been good enough, why shouldn't he go back and play for him? So, I like this one as well, Manny. Get him on a good deal here and keep him here, which is brilliant. Because actually a few teams did want him. So, and to get him on a good deal now, extends his stay with Brentford midfielder's new contract runs until the summer of 2030. And the club has an option to extend by an additional year. The Denmark international has 10 goal contributions in 27 appearances this season. Thomas Franke has been one of our best players this season. We are very dangerous when he is playing. The informed midfielder has signed a new deal which runs until summer 2030. The club has an option to extend his contract by additional year. Denmark international Damsgaard has played 27 games for the Bees this season, registering 3 goals and 7 assists. I'm very happy that Mikel has signed a new contract with us. That's one good Mikel, though, not the one Mikel you've got, Manny. But anyway, said Brentford head coach Thomas Frank. This season, he's starting to show what we believed we'd get from him.
We've got 2, mind you.
Oh, 2, yeah, of course, yeah. Is it Marino, the other one, isn't it? Yeah. Mikel Marino, isn't it? The other one, is it? Yeah. We knew that wouldn't happen straight away.
Yeah, that's the other one.
He was out before he came here, but it ended up being longer than expected, both for him and us. Mikel was then unlucky with another injury, but after 2 years of relatively consistent training and a good environment, and with patience both ways, we are now seeing the fruit of the work. He has been one of our best players this season. We are very dangerous when he is playing. But there is more to come from Mikel. It has been half a season. Now he needs to perform for a full season. We need to add layers, but I'm happy with what he's doing. After progressing through the youth ranks at Nordjylland, I believe that's called, it was in 2019-20 that Damsgaard excelled. Primarily deployed on the left wing, he scored 11 goals and assisted another 7 in 37 games in all competitions. That sparkling form attracted interest from abroad, and in February 2020, his summer transfer to Sampdoria was confirmed. He ended his first season in Italy, having made the joint second most appearances in the squad. His senior Denmark debut and 2 further caps followed, before he was included in Kasper Højlund's squad for the delayed Euro 2020. Damsgaard started all but bar one of Denmark's 6 games in their run to the semi-final, and after becoming his nation's youngest scorer in European Championship history, when he found the net against Russia, aged 20 years and 353 days, he hit the headlines when he struck a stunning dipping free kick to open the scoring in the 2-1 defeat to England. Remember that one, Manny, didn't we? When Damsgaard returned to club football, he was one of the first.
I remember that.
Yeah, he was one of the first names on the team sheet until October, when a knee surgery injury kept him out of action for a 6-month period. Having returned to fitness, Brentford spotted his potential and brought him on a 5-year contract. Across his first 2 seasons in West London, the 23-year-old was primarily introduced from the bench before starting 5 of the final 7 games during the 2023-24 campaign, giving a glimpse of what was to follow. Damsgaard has been a top performer for Thomas Frank's side this term, starting 19 of the Bees' 22 Premier League games and finding the back of the net against Bournemouth and Aston Villa. Actually, though, you look at him, would you say he's 23, Matt? I'm not being ageist or anything. Would you think he's 23, looking at him there? I wouldn't. He's like, what's another Luke?
Probably 26, but not 23. Yeah, like us, be 26 or 27, but not quite 23. But just going to show you can never judge a book by its cover. Wayne Rooney is a perfect example of that.
Luke Littler, that's another one, isn't it? Yeah. But he's been a great player this season for us, Manning. He's been amazing, and that's a great thing to, isn't it? To extend his contract and tie him down here. Brilliant.
It is, definitely. And full-time in Germany, it's 2-2 between Spurs and Hoffenheim. Dreadful result, really, for them. Their winless run continues. And I'm just still feeling the heat.
Yeah, I bet Eugene ain't happy about that. But he ain't. Got been 2-0 up.
I'll be back.
Terrible. Okay, mate. Yeah, but we've done the Bees transfers. Let's go through a lot of the others that are obviously happening or have happened or been confirmed. Transfer news live. Arsenal learned Sesko decision. Record Cunha bid. Man United set for Dorgu agreement. The transfer window is approaching its final week as clubs in the Premier League and across Europe seek to close out deals. I'll just wait till Manny's back and then carry on. There he is. Just going through the other transfer news and stuff now, Manny, all the other news and rumours and whatever to do with the other clubs, like yourself, of course, your team and everything. And Arsenal learn about Sesko. Apparently, you were linked with him. So Arsenal, Liverpool, Man United are among those to watch in the final days of the January transfer window as clubs in the Premier League and across the world look to wrap up deals before the deadline. The Gunners are desperate to sign a striker, but a move for RB Leipzig's Benjamin Sesko looks unlikely this month, with Mikel Arteta's side chasing Matthias Cunha as an alternative. Elsewhere, Man City announced the signing of Egyptian forward Omar Mamouche. It looks a good deal, that one. I think he looks fairly good. While Chelsea could enter talks with Juventus for striker Dusan Vlahovic, another one linked with Arsenal money. With the Blues also considering an approach for Alejandro Garnacho, which would be a great move as well. Man United have opened talks with Lecce and Patrick Dorgu as Ruben Amorim prioritises signing a left back, but the club needs to sell to buy. With Garnacho and Anthony set to leave. Marcus Rashford is also looking for a move away from Old Trafford. What a surprise. With his representative having met Barcelona executives. Though a move away is not currently looking likely. Well, that seems to rumble on, doesn't it? That thing. What do you make of some of them, Manny? What do you make of some of them? About this thing with Sesko?
Well, I'm not really surprised that we are dealing on when it comes to buying a striker. You know, there's always this mentality: what if we do sign like a party with a great deal of money? It turns out to be absolute rubbish. You know, sometimes when it comes to making transfers, you've got to take some chances. And you know, Aston Villa, of course, took a bit of a risk in buying Daniel Mullen from Borussia Dortmund. Now he is also he's actually cup tied in the Champions League, so he won't get to play until the next stage. Should Aston Villa make it, of course. And you know, when you have this, you know, all of this, yeah, like when it comes to making these transfers, you know, sometimes you have to take a risk, and there is an element of risk involved. But unless you take these risks, you aren't going to get your reward. And that is something that some Arsenal just don't seem to understand, and the board don't seem to understand. It was the same way when Edu was heading everything, and now that Edu's gone, whoever it is who's in charge of the whole shebang, he's not doing much better. So obviously, the Marmouche signing for Manchester City is good, of course. And yesterday, of course, they as good as crashed out of the Champions League with a dreadful, forgettable 4-2 defeat to Paris Saint-Germain at the Parc des Princes.
Oh, yeah.
And they just look a broken team. I think there's a part of me that thinks that they've written off this season entirely. They might possibly just focus on going for the FA Cup and finishing as high as they can in the Premiership. But mind you, they could still finish above Arsenal, such as their recovery going on at the moment. And we've got to play them at the Emirates, and that's not going to be an easy foregone conclusion, not by any means. And of course, we have that little joke. Of course, I remember saying it to Kenny Ken, and he absolutely loved it. We can see all of these fullbacks to play against him will end up seeing a little silhouette of a man running by. Marmouche. He's led them in the fandango. And if it's a young fullback, he's a poor boy from a poor family. Spare him his life from Manchester City.
Easy come, easy go. Will you let me go? La, la, la. I'm transported back to Wayne's World. Do you remember that, Wayne's World? When they done that in the car, they were going do 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 do, you know that with the heads, you know. They were doing that head banging thing, weren't they? With the
Yeah, that's obviously that little banging your head, absolutely. And also Dusan Vlahovic, we were linked with him, but looks as though Chelsea might end up getting him. And then this is the thing, Steve. We act like a small club. We don't want to take any risks. We don't want to, rock the boat. We dawdle and allow people to take away our lunch money or our packed lunches. It's stupid. When are we going to start showing some, gumption, for want of a nicer word?
Yeah. Exactly. When? Act like the big club you apparently are, allegedly are. Why not? And, we're doing better in the transfer market than you lot are. And we're a smaller club. We're getting our business done. We know what we've got to do and we're doing it, But yeah, I think that's a good buy for City, getting another forward. They need, maybe they do need actually more defenders as well. You see obviously Kyle Walker's gone to AC Milan. Is that good riddance, really? I know he's only on loan, but surely he might go there permanently. Surely.
Well, I mean, there was a report on goal.com where one of the women involved with him criticized him for making the move, saying he supposedly ignored his responsibilities as a mother by leaving England. He should stay in England rather than move to Italy. Oh. And, all I can say is that it's just going to get even messier. The more people that are involved. It's utterly stupid, but what can you do? And on the face of it, maybe AC Milan would want him. Maybe there are some issues with David Calabria injured. I'm not too sure. But, it does, as long as he gets some game time, it could be a good move. And I'll tell you what, if City do go on to crash out of the Champions League early, but AC Milan, he could end up continuing his European adventures. So all in all, not a very bad, I would say.
Yeah. But he has regressed, hasn't he? He's, as a footballer, he's not the same now. He's lost pace for a start, which was, a positive. Everyone knows about his pace. And he was difficult to get past. He always caught up, always made great tackles, last-minute tackles, whatever, because of his pace and all that. I don't think he's that particularly great on the ball at times. I think he's made some shit passing decisions and things like that. I don't think he's that smart on the ball at times. But you always had him there because he was quick. He's lightning. And he's lost it. He's lost that money. So he's not the same player. As you say, he's more a walker now. He really is a walker. And, I think, I don't know if AC Milan are getting a very good player there, to be honest. But then again, City might not worry about that. They just want to get rid of him. And I wouldn't blame them for that. But yeah.
Well, let's not forget, it's also quite frustrating. Let's not forget that he's been frustrated with his own lack of game time and the fact that maybe he didn't want to continue being in an environment which has become a little bit stale and stagnant. And the thing about Manchester City's season right now is that, all of these, they've reached the end of a cycle, really. It was a beautiful cycle which, gave them a lot of trophies, a lot of success, but at a certain point, you've got to say that certain things do come to an end, and that's pretty much the way it's ended up proving more than anything else. So, maybe it's time for him to leave. It will be time for the likes of Ilkay Gundogan to leave. Kevin De Bruyne might not last very long. Edison certainly won't. So Walker probably deserves a little bit of credit for taking the initiative and being willing to, fly over the cuckoo's nest, as it
Yeah,
were, and just um, uh, um, um, just try and ensure a different environment, a new challenge, and maybe that could rejuvenate him. If he passes the medical, and if he's good enough for AC Milan, if he ends up doing quite well, maybe the Italian side, the Rossoneri, could get a good bargain out of it. I don't think he'll win the Scudetto with Milan. No, that's long gone. It's Atlanta and Inter Milan who are competing for that.
mm,
But a change of environment might be what Kyle Walker needs, and maybe it'll help him play a few more games for England. He's on 93 caps. I think he'll to get the magic 100 and retire. I don't see him being involved in our World Cup fullback or be willing to um, be an option as a central defender like Steve Staunton ended up being for the Republic of Ireland. But it could be a good thing for Kyle, and I think it's a good thing for Manchester City. It's the start of as it were. That squad needs to be dissected and it needs to be refreshed.
yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah. So that's good. That's also good news. This for Forest that Chris Wood signed a new deal.
Be back.
Contract. Okay, mate. Yeah, yeah. Just waiting for Manning to come back. But yeah, this is a good one. Nottingham Forest to sign Chris Wood back, sign him up, an extension at Forest. He's been amazing this season. Had a season of his life, I think. He's been incredible for a guy, I believe it's 34. Is he 34, 35? He's in his early, obviously, 30s. So, he's in the form of his life, Chris Wood. And that's fantastic for them to sign him up on an extension there, Forest. Brilliant bit of work there to get him there, to keep him there. So I think some teams were looking at him. I know we were. We would like him at the Bees for a start, but obviously Forest ain't going to let him go, and why should they? What a great bit of work this has been for Forest to get him extended his deal. Chris Wood there, Manny.
Yep. The New Zealander is literally having the time of his life at the moment, and it's a good time as any to sort of tie him down to a longer term deal. I think Newcastle are starting to regret letting him go, or maybe they're not when they've got Isak. But if Isak gets injured, you want someone to cover. But great bit of work, for Forest said, and all is fairly well for them at the moment.
Exactly. What do you think of this? Do you think Chelsea will move for Garnacho? Could they get him in the transfer window?
They're trying to add to their assortment of riches, and obviously with Mudrak suspended at least until the season, they'd want another option. Could very well be that Mudrak might be released from the deal, allowed to move and have his contract terminated so that he can go wherever he likes. But it could very well be that they may end up getting him, but it could also be that with Manchester United about to kick off against Rangers in about 7 minutes from now, Amorim might still see Garnacho as a part of his plans. I know Amorim made headlines by saying that it's the worst. He's currently got the worst United team in history. I think there have been worse United teams. Obviously, people remember how in 1974. Obviously, a combination of young players and aging heroes from the 60s ended up getting relegated. And it was the recently departed United legend Dennis Law, playing for Manchester City, who scored the
Yeah.
goal that pretty much confirmed their demotion to the second division. So there have been worse teams. Lord rest his soul, of course. R.I.P. Lawman.
Yeah,
And
brilliant.
I think United now will probably look to will probably see it as a means of paying proper tribute to Dennis Law, because their performance against Brighton was an absolute shambles, especially after the tribute that transpired that day. Absolutely amazing tribute. And that's probably what made Amram so angry. So going
Yeah.
back to Garnacho, I don't think Amram will want him to leave, but it could be that he may end up leaving in the summer or before the start of next season.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you make? This keeps rumbling on, this thing with Marcus Rashford. And do you get what this guy's on about, what he's trying to achieve here? Because he keeps saying, oh, I don't want to leave. And then he's saying, oh, I want to prove what I'm doing. I want to prove to this guy, this manager, what I'm about. And I want to stay here and all that and improve. What's he actually doing, man? He's fucking playing silly buggers, isn't he? This fucking Rashford. No, he wants to join Barcelona.
Mickey, from the sounds of it, and obviously that ill-advised statement he made about wanting a new challenge was not the best thing to say. And a huge update, of course. It's not Andre Onana, but Altay Bayindir who'll be starting for United tonight. I think Onana has been dropped following that horrific against Brighton. And Bayindir will be high in confidence following that display against my Arsenal team.
He's quality, that keeper.
Yep.
He really quality. Really is.
And hopefully this time, hopefully. Yeah, listen, we'll talk about Bayindir later. I still think he has people determined that he's good. And we'll find out, of course, if Rashford is in the squad tonight. He probably might not be. We'll see. But speaking of Rashford, that comment about wanting a new challenge was ill-advised at best, and the timing was even worse. And maybe if he had just kept his mouth shut like Harry Maguire did, he'd be still very much in the picture. I think the club might look to try to offload him, but they're running out of time. Barely. I think today is the 22nd, isn't it? No, 23rd. So they've barely got about a week before they can finally get shot of him. Are they really willing to have him stay until the end of the season and not be in the squad? I don't so. But whatever Rashford does once he leaves Manchester United, he's got points to prove. And Garnacho actually is starting tonight. I see him standing next to Amad Diallo. Christian Eriksen and Lisandro Martinez are there. I think that looks like Lenny Yoro and Joshua Zirkzee with Matthias de Ligt. And Bruno Fernandes, of course. And Toby Collier is also there in the starting lineup. And we'll find out who is on the bench tonight. Heaton and Onana, Maguire, Højlund. No Rashford, but Malacia, Casemiro, who's on a booking, Anthony, Ugarte, and Kobbie Mainoo. So no Marcus Rashford. His days are officially numbered.
Yeah. And I think that's what he deserves. He should go. Get him out.
The referee from.
No, get him out. Get him.
But again, who would want to buy him? That's the problem. The number of people who are willing to, actually take a chance and buy him is, the number of clubs who are willing to take him on is sort of thin on the ground, as it were. And former Stoke goalkeeper Jack Butland starting tonight for Rangers. Never thought we'd see him back at Old Trafford, but He is.
Do you think Rangers will get a win there tonight, Manny? It could be a surprise, couldn't it? I think they're a good team, Rangers, though. They're doing well in Europe.
Yeah, they're doing okay. I mean, obviously, their last game was against Spurs and they drew, so they couldn't have put in that good a performance. The Scottish Premiership at the moment. I see this one ending in a score draw. It could very well be a Desmond, but United know that they owe their fans a better they put up against Brighton, and we see some sections of the fans, including one Rangers fan, completely shirtless, braving the cold. He's either brave or utterly stupid. We'll find out soon. And there is Alex Ferguson, who actually played for Rangers back in the day, wearing a Peaky Blinder. So you'll be hoping that United have a blinder. I'd say, Sir Alex, gonna get your hopes up.
Yeah. So anyway, Manny, before we go, can you see any of these deals happening? The Dorgu one to United, will that happen? Is it Patrick Dorgu?
What?
Is it Patrick Dorgu? His name? Is that going to happen? Do you think?
Patrick. That's.
Yeah.
Not too sure at the moment. I don't think I've heard. I heard. I mean, he's an outfielder. What is his position?
He's a defender, a left back. Well, it's saying a wing back. He's saying.
Ooh, that could be an option. And if they can get him in, then that would be good because obviously, United still continuing to play with some inverted left backs, either in Diogo Dalot or Nasser Mazraoui. They need a proper footed left back, and if they can get him in, then that would be good. That'll give them a chance to say goodbye to Luke Shaw. I know Tyrell Malacia is still on the books, but he doesn't seem to be getting too many games either as of late. So if that can happen, then good for United.
Yeah. That would be a good one. They need a good left back, proper left back that's not injury prone, like Luke Shaw, as we know. And now about this one. They're on about apparently you could bid for Cunha 60 million, Arsenal, and that would get him in. That would get him through the door. Apparently, the £60 million bid would see him joining Arsenal.
Yeah, there has recently been. There has been, of course, a great deal of controversy surrounding Cunha at Wolves. Apparently, the boss Vitor Pereira was not a big fan of his tunnel after losing to Chelsea, but he was willing to sort of excuse it in many ways. And I wonder if it is true that Cunha was going through some personal stuff at the time, then maybe throwing him under the bus was not best advisable. But to his credit, Pereira did say that he's happy to excuse it, but next time he wouldn't be so forgiving. And it'll be interesting to see if Cunha still stays at Wolves and if Arsenal actually do make the deal go forward. But, once again, we just seem to have our priorities arse backwards. We need a proper striker. I can't trust that German giraffe to hit a barn door. He scored against Zagreb, but then, that team wasn't exactly, that Croatian team wasn't exactly at up to snuff, as we would say.
Yeah. And obviously City have signed another defender there, Abdul Kadir Kusanov. 20-year-old joins on a 4.5-year contract on French.
Uzbek.
So, yeah. So they are getting players in, City. They are doing something, aren't they? they're trying to sort it out. Obviously, you know this prediction. So you know they're
115 charges.
Sorry, mate.
And we're still stagnant. We've still got things in our mouths and are not doing anything. Maybe we'll make one panic buy before the end of the month and have everything be rosy and garden, have everyone happy. We did buy Leandro Trossard, and he turned out to be good for the most part. But apart from that, we haven't really done very much. We generally don't do very much in the January window.
Yeah. But that's pretty much all of it, and we'll see what happens. We got obviously one more week of it until it ends, so obviously be carrying on with all this and going through it all. Obviously the bees as well, seeing about our latest signings. We'll hopefully have Michael Chiodi's medical very soon. That should happen very, very soon, maybe tomorrow. If it hasn't already actually happened, who knows? We'll find out when he's joined and everything. There'll be confirmation on here, and I'll go through it all. And of course, Damsgaard signing a new deal, Visser, and everything. It's all looking quite good for the moment. At the moment for the Bees. So yeah, and other teams have still got more work to do, obviously, to get more players in. But it should be interesting, Manny. But anyway, where can we find you, fella?
Yeah, well, I do have also a couple of other tidbits. Obviously, in addition to signing Daniel Mullen, we know that Aston got the Spanish fullback Garcia in. I really do think that at this point in time, Villa need a new centre back. And there are some reports as well about a forgotten England man, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, who won 3 FA Cups with Arsenal and a Premier League and Champions League with Liverpool, and also earned 30-odd caps for England before injuries ended up mucking him up a bit. Obviously, despite Ole Gunnar Solskjaer coming into Besiktas and starting well, Oxlade-Chamberlain is not in the Europa League squad for them, and I don't think he's played too many games. He might end up going back to England to play at Sheffield United and join his ex-Liverpool teammate Rhian Brewster. So Sheffield United are also second in the Championship, and they could be promoted to the Premiership if they maintain their form. So maybe we'll see the return of the Ox. Could it be a new year of the Ox? We'll find out soon. Whatever happens, he was a good player with Arsenal. We wanted him to stay, but he moved on and won bigger things. And hopefully he'll resurrect his career and do well in this. Not be another Jack Wilshere. And we wish him good luck. And to answer your question of where you can find me, Steve, you can find me here on The Buzz and also on Mr. B Chats England Cricket. Had a stream earlier today, of course, and we'll probably be having a couple more over the next few days, hopefully celebrating England wins. I'll hold my breath. And also catch me on Del Boy Gunner TV, Coach's Corner, Oris Talks Football, Up the Chartmans, Tony Claude Gunner TV, Danny AFC TV, Rich Sports, Football United, Gundown UK, Southern Gooner, Spurs U Asian TV, Warren's Team Talk, and several other channels where I've made appearances over the months, and obviously a great bunch of people, all very important to me. And if they don't believe me when I tell them that they're important to me, there will of course be a check in the post, but I do have to start writing them. And I'm going to settle down and watch the game, cagey beginning with neither goalkeeper forced to make a save as of yet, but you just think that the action will explode sometime soon. And of course, this weekend there's Premiership action, there's cricket, a lot to look forward to, and Australian Open tennis if that's what you like. But I'll be heading off now. Thanks again, Steve. And all I can say to everyone is, as usual, take care of yourselves, be safe and be happy. Do unto others as you know others do unto you, and don't do anything Mr. B or I wouldn't do. Until then, farewell to thee. Goodbye and God bless to all of you. And it's time for me to get off because I also need to charge my phone. Bye, everyone.
Yeah. Cheers, mate. Take care, buddy. Have a good evening. Enjoy the football and all the other sport coming up. But yeah, thanks to him again. Thanks to Manny coming on yet again. Brilliant. Only had Luca in the live chat, which is a shame, but there is football going on tonight, so maybe it's to be expected. You know, there are matches going on. Man United playing now. Spurs played earlier and had a 2-2 draw when they were 2-0 up against Hoffenheim. But yeah, plenty more to come. Follow me on the Insta at Mr. B for Life 182 and subscribe to Mr. B Hive Football Chat. And Mr. B Chats England Cricket, guys. Please, you know, keep going up. Please keep showing me the love. Subbing, smashing the likes and everything, you know. Want this to keep going up. I'm on 111 subs, but it would be great if it could go up. Although, as I say again, I reiterate that I'm not in this for, you know, the subs. I'm in it because I like doing it. It's brilliant. I love it. And, you know, and I'll keep doing it as long as I can. And, you know, there'll be more to come. Loads more. There's more, obviously, cricket streams to come. With the Ashes and still going on, women's Ashes, and of course the men's T20s in India, that tour, and obviously plenty more football. We're playing Palace on Sunday, so I'll be doing a preview probably on Saturday for that, I would think, and plenty more transfer streams and everything. So keep watching, guys, and keep checking this out. You know, all your support is much appreciated. So anyway, guys, until the next one, which will be obviously tomorrow probably, or Saturday, one of the two, I'm out of here. Cheers, guys. Thanks. Bye.